Hey, what's up, everybody? You guys know who it is, and if you don't, I am VaShaun Jones, visionary of Fedora Outlier LLC. A couple of things. Besides, what do I have on as far as fragrance and clothes? I get this question like at least 40 to 50 times a year. So I'm helping you out with all of that. So my fragrance today is YSL Eau de Parfum. It smells amazing. Ask anyone who's been around me, check it out. What I have on today as far as clothing is my pink and black 97s from Nike, a black tech suit, pink Lacoste shirt, and a multicolored pink and multicolored Green Bay hat, right? So I'm kind of pinkish today. Now, for the biggest question that I get all year long, I get it right, all year long, and it comes up all across the United States whenever I'm speaking, whenever I'm talking about this particular issue. And I want everybody to understand the 80-20 rule when it comes to vocational rehabilitation. So we've all been through it. I can repeat it back to you. I can regurgitate it. Here it goes. My counselor hasn't gotten back with me. I gave them a call. It's been 3 months and I haven't heard from them. My counselor isn't doing anything for me. I hate that agency. Every time I tell them what I want to do, they tell me no. Right? And it's some variation of that, no matter who I'm talking to. That's what it boils down to. And it's because they absolutely do not understand the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule means all of the work, 80% of it is on you. 20% of it is on them. You see how the lion's share of the work is on you? Let me explain it to you. The government works for the people. I don't care how you view it. I don't care what's been drilled into your head. I don't care how you feel. It's we the people and the government. So if the government works for you and you're not giving them anything to do, you got more questions than you have answers, then you're not following the 80-20 rule. Well, VaShaun, I went to my counselor and I told him that I wanted a job. Well, guess what? The government doesn't have jobs unless you want to work for the government or you want to be in a government program like the BEP, the Business Enterprise Program, or you want to go to Goodwill and work for Goodwill. Outside of that, they don't have jobs, right? So do you ever go to your counselor with everything that you need? Do you ever go to your counselor with a portfolio in hand as to what you want to do, how you want to get there, what it is that you're going to need to get there, how much does it cost, and where can they get it from, and have a plan as to how you're going to succeed with your case? What do I mean by it's your case? I had a person tell me one time my counselor went on maternity leave and I have to wait for her to come back before we can finish my case. And I cringed. I said, that's absolute BS. What do you mean your case? So your counselor having a baby affects your life? No, it's a case. Anybody can work your case that's a counselor. Anyone that's available. I have it happen all the time. Hey, VaShaun, this is the counselor. I'm going on leave. I'm transferring these cases that you're working on to Margaret, right? Margaret's a made-up name. Well, it's not really, but it doesn't matter what state Margaret's in. Shout out to Margaret. It behooves you to understand that it's your case. It's your life. Why do we allow other people to affect our lives? What do I mean, VaShaun? Well, the counselor told me I don't think that's a good idea for you. Well, you're a freaking counselor. You're a counselor. You can't tell me what's good for me. Only I can say what's good for me. Your mama can't say what's good for you. You know, who wants a doctor that was a doctor because his mama said you should be a doctor? I want a doctor that's a doctor because they wanted to be a doctor. They love being a doctor. I don't want someone that does it, that went to school because their mom forced them to, right? So it's your case. It's your life. That means you need to be doing 80% of the work. You need to be reaching out to your counselor every 3 days with a plan of action. If you're waiting for your counselor to call you back, that's the problem. But if the person works for you and you're not giving them anything to do, then guess what? They do nothing but flip folders. Well, in this computer age, they just write a note next to your name. Hey, haven't heard from them. Right? So, yeah, they do got hundreds of people on their caseload, but have you ever heard the phrase, the cream rises to the top? The talent rises to the top. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. You need to be a squeaky wheel. Because guess what? If you don't care about your life enough to badger somebody, bug someone about your case, nobody else is going to do it for you. I promise you. Now listen, I close cases all over the United States, from the West Coast to the East Coast, from Puerto Rico to Arizona, right? This is something that once we realize two things, the 80-20 rule, 80% you, 20% them, come to them with a plan of action, how to get there, what you need to get there, how much it costs. Justify the things that you want. I'll get into that in a whole nother video, but you got to justify it. Hey, don't just say I need a new computer, because guess what they may do or may not do? They're going to get you a computer. It might be something from, what's that cheap computer place, Computers for the Blind. It may be a computer that somebody else in VR has had and it looks like a 1986 cassette player or something. You need to tell them, hey, I need this computer and this is why I need it. This is how much it costs. This is where you can get it from. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. So 80% you, 20% them. The government works for you. The second point, the government works for you. If you don't make them work, then they won't. They'll just do whatever they want to do. Why? Because they get a paycheck anyway. Regardless to whether they close your case or not, they're going to get a paycheck. They're not going to get a bonus by closing your case. There's no bonuses, no incentive for them to do it aside from, hey, you are adamant about getting your case closed. Your case, your case, your case, your case. It's your case. It's your life. Why aren't you active in your life, your mobility, in employment? They are only there. Vocational rehabilitation, no matter what the name of the agency, whether it's a what do they call it? A thing for the blind. South Carolina has commission. Whether they're a commission or whether they're a vocational rehabilitation agency, they're still there. Services for the blind, whatever they call it. They're there only for you to become employed. If you're not talking employment, you just want to sit at home, that's not the agency for you. You need to find some type of home health care or something. But if you want to go to work, get this paper, make this money, then you need to be active in your case. Here's another little tidbit. It does not matter how old you are. If you are 100 years old and you say you want to go to work, vocational rehabilitation is there for you. If you got a job and you're losing your sight, vocational rehabilitation is there for you. But it's 20%. If I tell you, hey, I'm going to help you, do you expect me to do 80% of the work and you do 20? No, I'm helping you. That's the same thing with the counselor. The counselor is helping you get to your vocational rehabilitation goal. They're not doing it. They're not handing out jobs. Go to a job fair. That's where the jobs are being handed out. And then vocational rehabilitation can help you. But you got to be able to explain it to them. You got to be able to be on top of your right? All right. The 80-20 rule. Let's get it. Let's change the world. Let's change the world together. And hold on, because I can't even close out the video. All right, there we go.